I've got a couple of ideas, but if you want to lead the way, we can do it that way as well. So it's up to you.
Well, I like to, yeah, really up to hearing your ideas. And then I've just like I've started doing a tiny bit of that practice diary thing. I think that's a good idea.
Oh yeah.
And
Is this
I
where
mean,
you write down what you've practiced and?
yeah, it's literally like just so I can remember. But I've heard it's a good idea. And what I've been practicing recently, I was doing a bit of it's funny, like with it was really nice to have that harmony video. Thanks for sending that. But it's funny because then I couldn't like work it out. I just wasn't really feeling the flow of like actually putting that into the melody. So maybe I should have a work around it. Like anyway, so that it's like it was good to like go through those things again as well. But then what I was practicing was what it says here, flow practice with 1, 4, and 5 in micro chords, I think.
Okay.
So I did that on Saturday, and then Sunday I did this to click, doing B flat to G flat, B flat to G blues.
B flat to G blues.
Yeah, like alternating to click. So it'd be like. And practicing having it at the same point on the fretboard, so I'm not hopping.
Oh right, okay, yeah, that's great.
So I did that before with A and C all across the fretboard, and now I'm trying it with B flat and G. So I've been doing that and just doing it to click with flow practice.
Great.
Yeah.
Is the idea behind, out of curiosity, what was your logic behind picking G and B flat?
I think because they I'd heard about it before, and they because then when you switch, you're kind of your E shape goes to your G shape. So I'm like E shape G, and then that's confusing. G shape B flat. So it's covering the same like bit there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I feel you.
So
yeah, great.
That. But that's basically it. Recently, that's all the notes I've made.
Okay.
Yeah, and apart from that, some noodling to click. So.
Yeah. Noodling to a click. That's always good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, do you want to go over the stuff that you want in more detail from the last video lesson I gave you, or do you want to do something new, or what area do you most want to look at?
Well, I'm interested in what you were thinking, and I think I don't know. I think just generally like some healthy things for me to be getting on with, like because I think I sometimes get stuck for ideas when I'm actually in the seat with the guitar, and like that's good. This whole alternating between minor thirds thing on the blues scale is good because I'm trying to like get fluent with that across the fretboard, and I can just carry on with that as well.
Yeah.
But so it's a bit like sometimes with stylistic stuff is coming up that some of the juiciest bits have been when we've really sunk into like vibrato and style and like idiomatic stuff, like because I think I remember this when I was learning sax. I'd be improvising and being like, this is really naff sometimes, like, and there's nothing really I can pin it on, but I'd be like, this just sounds like a kid learning to learn sax, improvising, rather than like someone professional. I was like, what's the difference? So
yeah. I mean, I remember actually when I was quite young, I was like 11, 12, I had this friend of mine who was like amazing, like natural guitarist, and he was like one of the reasons why I started playing guitar. He was so good, and and for someone of his age, he just had such an amazing feel and like time and his vibrato and all this stuff it just came to him really quickly. He practiced really hard, but it was, you know, and I remember I got really into practicing myself, and we hadn't seen each other in a couple of months. He came over and we were having a jam, and I was like excited to show him all the stuff that I had learned. And I remember he just like picked up the guitar and just like played 2 notes, and I was like, fuck's sake, that already sounds better than all the shit I practiced. It was a bit of a penny dropping moment. It was kind of, it sounds like a similar thing to what you're talking about, where it's like you have to kind of I don't know, you play the same thing, you know, a million different ways, and they'll all say different things, but like you can also say something that's really, you know, it should be really beautiful, but say it in quite a mundane way.
Yeah.
A bit like speaking, like you could if you're not a good communicator, like, you know, with how you deliver what you're saying, sometimes what you're trying to say gets lost.
Yeah.
So that would explain why some of the idiomatic kind of you're connecting with like the bluesier stuff and like the spends and the vibrato and that kind of thing. It is really important. I mean, there's a great thing that I let me just quickly play this. I'll send you a link. This
Monday.com is the project
ads.
management platform my team moving forward.
I've also been practicing the going between, like holding my pick, like the Joey Landry thing, and then going between Joey Landry or whatever his name is, but going between like holding my pick and then also like just like cradling it and using fingers. Because I think last lesson we got to that point where I was like, I think I'm gonna go on pick as well, because it's such a nice sound sometimes, and yeah.
I think that's the best way to go, is to like be able to do both. I think if you go for the fingers thing, you are committing to a limitation, which isn't like a bad thing. It's just you have to be aware you're doing that. You know, certain things you'll never really be able to do as cleanly or as whatever as using a pick. You kind of do the Joey Landry thing, where you kind of have a bit of both. It's like you can get the best of both worlds if you're into the finger sound. I mean, if you're like die-hard Derek Trucks, Mark Knopfler, then go for it. Why not? You know, or Wes Montgomery, all those people. They're amazing just fingers players. But yeah, I think that's a wise choice. The clip I was going to show you is just I can't find it. It's Ray Charles live clip where he's doing Georgia, and it's just a really beautiful version.
Oh, cool!
Like the very first Georgia, it's like he sings it so it just gets you. You're immediately like captivated just because of the way he sings it. It's just 2 notes. You know, Georgia. The way he sings it, just like. It's crazy. So I'm big on practicing inflection and all that kind of stuff. So maybe we can do some of that, and then also I'll give you a chord thing to practice, which is the thing that I'll kind of go between the two.
Yeah, sweet.
So let's do a exercise to start with, which is always worth doing for like warming up your fingers and building up strength. Maybe it's, I don't know if you played the tools today. It's a little bit hard to start off with, but fuck it, we've only got like a little bit. Time. So okay, we're going to practice bending up in tones. Okay? Actually, I beg your pardon. We're going to practice bending up a semitone first. Okay, on the G string.
Okay.
So first of all, we're going to play the note above where we're going to fret just to hear it. So let's play a C sharp on the G string. So this is getting your ear, that's the note we're going for. Then we're going to go a semitone lower on the fretboard, and we're just going to try and bend exactly up to that note. Let's hear you do it a couple of times. Well, I've lost your audio a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, maybe turn up because I think it's dating the audio.
It might be. You got me there.
Yeah, your audio is crackling a lot for some reason.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's on my computer. I think my computer starts to freak out with its audio system.
Okay, fine.
Sorry.
Right. As long as you don't mind that being on the video.
Oh yeah.
Sure. Okay, so yeah, let's go up semitone. Yeah. The idea is we're trying to make as clean a bend as possible, just to get our fingers in touch with what exactly a semitone feels like to bend. Let's see you one more time. Cool.
Right.
Now let's add in a bit of vibrato. So we're gonna go. Oh, can you hear me?
Quite quietly on the guitar.
I understand. I've got what's happened. Let me, just because I've turned off the speakers. Okay. Right. I know what I should do. I should come out of just the amp rather than my computer. There with. Okay. You can just do some test your audio. You're coming through really quietly for some reason. You speak a bit just so I can see if that's working.
Hello.
All right, yeah, it's just been a bit funny, but it's all right. We'll keep going.
Yeah.
All right, so let's add in the vibrato.
Yeah.
Yeah. See if you can get like it to really sing out nicely. Yeah.
Yeah, I find bend vibrato quite difficult.
It's difficult, but it's just a finger strength thing. It's a muscle memory thing.
Yeah.
So kind of you get this kind of like rocking thing with your hand going.
Yeah.
But it's not like you're tensing up too much. You're just kind of like, there's this kind of like.
Yeah.
Let's hear you one more time. Do you reckon you can turn your guitar up? That might help.
Yeah.
Maybe turn up a bit more. So it's just, it's weird. It sounds like your guitar just keeps cutting out every time you play. But your voice for some reason does come through. That's the weird thing.
Oh, it might be the mic on these headphones.
Yeah, possibly.
You hear that?
Maybe not really. No.
Yeah.
Maybe unplug your headphones.
Let's try this. Is that better?
No, it's similar. No, it's the same.
Oh, that's strange.
It's sort of like anytime any audio comes through, it's like a crackling, and then when you play guitar for some reason, it sounds like it gates and it ducks out the sound.
Oh, you know what I can do? If I join on
your phone.
On my phone, it should be better.
But then you'll lose the recording.
I think if I keep this running, if I keep the video running on here, maybe. I don't know.
Right.
Might be able to work around it.
Oh, right. I get what you're saying. So you join on. Okay, yeah. You join on the phone, and then you mute the video audio. So you mute the audio. Oh, right. Okay, yeah.
Maybe that would work. Let's see. Where is it? Yeah.
This is such good practice. I should do this way more often.
It's really nice, actually, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah.
You're so expressive with just one note.
Yeah.
How you want to vibrato it, how you want to play it. Tell me when you're up and running.
I think I'm on. Is that
Yeah,
working?
that's better. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I just need to turn it off so it doesn't look at your phone when.
Yeah.
How do I make you the primary pin video? Okay, pin video. Go. Excellent. All right, I think we're good. This is much better.
Okay, great. Hear myself.
Yeah, you good?
Is that still working for you?
Yeah, that's working. Yeah.
Okay, great. Sorry. Work around.
Let's go a little bit over because we'll go until like 10 past. No, sorry, until 20 past, something like that.
Okay. Yeah, great.
So your goal is to bend up to the note as accurately as you can, and then when you feel cool, then add in the vib. Okay. It's actually better to go for like a slow, wide vib if you can, rather than like a fast, like tense one. And in terms of grip, I find, let me have a little think about how that's fit technically. So it doesn't feel like the movement is coming from my fingers going like that. Yeah, it doesn't feel like that, like moving up and down. It feels more like I'm anchoring the, so imagine my arm is, okay. Imagine my arm is the fretboard, okay? Okay. It feels like I'm kind of like gripping between my first finger and my thumb, like in this space.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm anchoring for the vibrato, and it's kind of pivoting on this point. That kind of thing. That's kind of the motion you want to be going for. So it's almost like BB King calls it like a twisting of his wrist. Not sure if I'd call it a twisting of the wrist, but it's so kind of along those lines.
Almost that way rather than, or it's slightly.
Yeah. I don't twist. I don't twist. I keep the fretboard always between my finger and thumb. Let me see if I can go side on, and that might be okay. So you can see it's being gripped like this. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I doing that right?
Yeah. That's it. Yeah,
okay.
that's it. So, but you want your third finger is playing the note, but your first finger is gonna have this kind of grip to the front of the fingerboard, which is kind of gonna give you the anchor point. So the fretboard is making contact with the corner of the fretboard is making contact with like the middle of your first finger.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. And is it how much pressure is it in your thumb?
How much pressure is in the thumb?
In the first finger.
I would say okay, so the first finger is not really, you should be able to do it kind of. The first finger's main responsibility is to grip the neck, actually, more than it is to bend the actual string.
Yeah.
So
and how much?
The main point of the first finger is to, you could even probably have your first finger off just for the sake of example.
Yeah.
You know,
And where's your thumb when you're bending?
I put it on top. I go around. Semitone bends are actually a really underrated thing. Really cool. Like, you just pick a note within your blues scale. So say you want to bend up to this note. Yeah. In the B blues scale, you know the scale. So bending up to that note, like from a semitone below, is like a cool sound. Yeah.
How much like pressure is going into your index finger?
Quite a bit.
On that. Okay.
Yes,
All right.
yes,
So you're really gripping it quite hard.
Well, I mean, I'm not gripping it for the sake of it. I'm gripping the least amount that I need to in order to make the action. So I'm not like adding extra gripping for the sake of it. It's more just that is the point of contact where you feel it, I guess. It would be because the thing I'm trying to say is that some people, when they first start to do vibrato, they'll put like all three of their fingers on the string, and they'll do the more like classical thing where, like, you know, you're in classical, you don't do this, you kind of do more like this, where there's like a gap between your first finger and the fretboard. But when you're doing this kind of vibrato where it's like a bending vibrato, I think you get way more stability like that, where you do like slightly twist your wrist and yeah. I think
great.
I think you're doing it. You just need to build up the strength more.
Okay, great. Yeah.
So, yeah, pick another note in the scale, like maybe that note. So, nice.
And you're using your second finger, right? Yeah.
Just first and second finger. I mean, I'm kind of like holding my guitar close to the screen, so it's some of my techniques a little bit off. I think so much of this thing that you're trying to get down and work on, this thing of like having the simple stuff sound beautiful and like not naff, is about like breathing life into the phrases you play by, like, you know, giving everything a contour. So you're never playing everything flat and even. Everything's always got you know, there's in music, you've like your song and you've got the climax of your song, you know, which might happen here or might happen wherever it happens, and you're working towards that point. But then you've got each of your sections, and each of your sections will have like a moment which is like the most climatic within that section at some point. And then within your phrases, your individual phrases, every phrase you play should have a climax in the actual phrase, the musical phrase, like whether it's 3 notes or 4 notes. So it's like you have the overall story arc, and then you have like the smaller story arc of the section, then you have the smaller story arc of the phrase that you're actually playing, and you have to, once you nail all of those, it's kind of like that's kind of like where the engagingness of the music comes from. Because you're engaging
Yeah.
with people at every level, at like this like macro level, this like intermediary level, and this micro level where everything is engaging. So that's about like, rather than playing like that, you know, when I'm playing every note quite evenly, and it's just like, it's okay, it's just a bit boring. You know, I could play like, you know, where it's got like, it's got an ebb and a flow to it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
You get me? So
Yeah.
it's like,
Sweet. Yeah.
it's breathing, it's moving, it's not just the static. So that's what you're going for. So I think being mindful of that when you're practicing your licks and your metronome practice is what's going to encourage that